All right, ladies and gentlemen, there have been a lot of people claiming that, well, I have a bit of a problem with Changli. And the fact of the matter is, when it comes to this character, I recognize her strength. I recognize her potential. But the thing is, my viewpoint is that she's one of the most inaccessible characters for newer players, right? She can cause some problems in picking up on her gameplay and actually making the most use out of her. People have gone ahead and they're even saying that I am fusionist, that I have some sort of discrimination against fusion characters because of my viewpoints on Brant being extremely hard to build and Changli being extremely hard to play. However, all I'm really doing is stating facts about their kits. And so what I wanted to do was take some time to potentially educate myself further with this video. Why Changli is the perfect character, and here's why she's insane. So with that, let's go ahead, let's see what our boy Void Enigma has to say, our resident nerd, and see what this one is all about. So with that, let's get right on into it.
Changli is my favorite Wuthering Waves character. From her playstyle to her design to the underboob Vitessa mark placement, she is an immaculate character. There is, however, some misconceptions about Changli. Some would say that she was released ahead of her time, her kit is too convoluted, and her outro is useless. You see, those issues might be accurate.
Even he says it. The guy that says that Changli is his favorite character is also confirming every single thing I've said about her as well. What does that mean, ladies and gentlemen? What does that mean?
If you don't know how to play her. With Chun-Li's rerun around the corner, I wanted to make a video discussing what to expect from our girl Chun-Li, and how to make her a tier 0 character on your account, despite what anybody says about her. Her kit is truly one of the most misunderstood in the game among content creators, among players, and among many people. And quite frankly, it's time to lay these foolish ambitions to rest.
God, he's such a fucking nerd. He's such a nerd, dude. Like, where did why is he quoting Margit? Like, why is he quoting Margit in Elden Ring? Where did that even come from? Alright, let's just... Dude, if he does another one of those, I'm gonna fucking lose it. If he does another one of those, I'm going to fucking lose it. He needs to stop it with that. He needs to stop it right now.
My name is Void Enigma, and I'll be talking about Chun-Li. She has some major strengths, but also some major weaknesses. She is not for the faint of heart who will just pick her up for a day, play her, and then say, hey, she's not for me. She was made for those who want to learn how to surf these Wuthering Waves, rather than just follow these same waves. Chun-Li is a sword-wielding fusion character that was released in version 1.1 of the game, directly after Jinchi. I skipped the amazing dragon lady for this fiery phoenix because she's hot. Get it? So, you know how much I was dedicated to learning her. I already knew she wouldn't be as powerful as Jinchi, but damn. Her skills are so flashy and fast-paced that I swear I saw smoke coming from my keyboard while quick-swapping. As a dual-blade main in Monster Hunter, and a C6 Shao enjoyer in Genshin, this is my absolute favorite playstyle. I tend to pick up harder characters in every single game that I do play because I like quick-paced, slashy movesets, so Chun-Li would be no exception to my gaming creed. So why is Chun-Li misunderstood? Well, it's simple. You don't know how to play her. She has so many unique features in her kit, and you have to weave together each of these unique features all together to make her work perfectly. She is not a character that you pick up in one day and master, although most characters in the game are not. So I don't want players to be dissuaded from pulling for her just because she's quote-unquote hard to use.
This is the thing, and I think this is the thing that people need to have a bit more of a firm basis on. If a character, right, has such a high skill floor and a high investment of time required to learn them that you cannot actually beat as a pure casual player, and then you pull that character, what's going to happen, right, is that you now have a character that you don't actually have the resources to play. And think about it this way, guys. Your time that you're spending to learn a character and actually excel with them, learn all their combos, learn all of their quick swap windows, that's a resource that characters, or not characters, that players, people have. And if they can't spend that, and there are plenty of other options that cost all exactly the same, then think about it this way. In a lot of cases, Changli is a bit of a wasted investment on their account. But if you're more of a hardcore player, right, somebody that does have a lot of time to spend on the game, that's able to invest all of these resources into fully learning how to play her, yes, you can get a lot of great mileage out of her. Unfortunately, and again, this is the big one, this is a gacha game. A game that is, at many times and at many points, right, based off of your ability to go in, get out super fast within like 25-30 minutes, and that could be your play time for the day. And that's how a large portion, I would say even a majority of the player base, engages with a game like Wuthering Waves, right? They're not necessarily going into like the hardest content ever and then like trying to get like crazy clears. They're just trying to get every single reward that they can, you know, get all the rewards in the tower, get all the rewards from Whimpering Waste, and then maybe call it a day, right? Or just not spend that much time in the first place. And Changli is kind of like the antithesis to that sort of casual play style. She requires, again, and you're hearing it right here from a self-professed expert, a lot of investment that other characters don't need to actually perform at the levels that other characters do. So she's not for everybody, but for the people that she is for, she really works for them. But she is probably one of the lowest priority pulls for most players. And we're thinking about this from the casual perspective.
Quote unquote hard to use. She will and can be played if you actually are going to be dedicated to learning her.
Exactly.
So if you're a Chun-Li enthusiast who will be dedicated to have your daily sessions consist of learning how to quick swap with Chun-Li, then yeah, Chun-Li is the gal for you. But if you are more of a player who likes to go Jin Shi Laser or Chameleon G on hold click, smooth, easy, brain off, then Chun-Li is not the character for you.
All right, so we can say that Changli is difficult and mechanically intensive without insulting every other character in the game, okay? Amelia's got some sick combos. Jian's also got some sick combos. Jinxie also has some animation cancels. Let's not just disregard the complexity in other characters' kits, right? Because we just want to, you know, fucking glaze ourselves for being able to, you know, glaze ourselves for playing Changli. Let's be honest here, buddy boy.
So you may be asking, just how are you supposed to play Chun-Li then? Let me preface this by saying that I've mastered...
And this is where the whole kind of like, my take on the whole Changli mains community comes in, right? It's probably the most elitist community of mains in the game. It is, without a doubt, the most elitist Wuthering Waves like subsect of mains that exists in the game currently. There's no doubt in my mind. I don't think Danjin mains are as bad. I think Changli's 100% is the worst.
Preface this by saying that I've mastered Chun-Li's gameplay. I know every facet of her kit, and I know exactly what she's capable of in combat and how to best utilize her. She is very flexible when on field and has free rotations thanks to the way that her kit is designed. With that being said though, she can have fixed rotations for certain team comps. When Chun-Li was released in version 1.1, it was thought that she had no teams. There was no fusion character that could actually be buffed by Chun-Li fully, and that was absolutely the wrong way to think about playing her.
Well, in 1.1, she actually did have no teams. Let's be honest here. She had no teams in 1.1. Her first team with Zhang Liao came out in 1.2. I don't know what team you were playing with her in 1.1. Whatever it wasn't good.
Chun-Li is a quick swap heavy character, and her outro shouldn't be the main reason why you use her. You should be using her to weave in easy damage through quick swaps. This gameplay isn't for everyone, and when she was released, many characters didn't quote-unquote synergize with her. There are characters like Encore who I thought played pretty well with her, but
Encore Sanhua, the free 4-star unit, it was better than Changli Encore.
Because she didn't fully buff Encore with her outro, many thought that it just wasn't going to be a great team to use. The team still works, but it can't be considered a tier 0 team. So that means that there are no characters that were made for Chun-Li. Well, meet Chixia, the best in slot team lead for Chun-Li. She's fusion, check. She plays nice with quick swap, check. She has a liberation that deals significant damage, check. If you're a player who immediately threw Chun-Li and Chixia into a team, then you'd be absolutely horrible with her. But with some knowledge on how to actually use Chun-Li and Chixia, then these teams will be just as powerful as many of the top teams on your account, no doubt. The goal of this team is to quick swap until Chun-Li's outro is ready, Then outro into Chisia and use her liberation skill fully, and then use the empowerment of the liberation skill to actually let off an insane nuke that is her liberation. Blazing Flames. While that sounds like a very direct method that you have to play her, it's not actually that difficult because of how Chun-Li's kit is designed. Keep in mind, this team that I'm showing you here, it actually is only a level 80 Chisia. Did I also mention that Chisia's a 4-star? That means that, and let me reiterate.
Before we take a look at this time in this clear, I need to show you guys something about the current state of the tower that this is being recorded on. Bit of a spoiler alert, guys. I might be peeling back the curtain a little bit too much on Void, but the gameplay isn't necessarily showing the full story because the current tower stage that he's looking at right now is this one. Enemy fusion resistance is decreased by 10%. Resonators gain a 40% resonance skill damage bonus and a 5% attack that stacks up to 4 times. So he wove in the whole like, oh yeah, my Chisha's only level 80. Well, you gotta mention this too then, right? Like you kind of gotta mention this as well if your Chisha's level 40. And this is the thing, guys. It's fair to say that his Changli is giga invested, right? Because he's had her since release. He's pretty much been farming for her, perfecting her. That floor that I just showed you gets cleared in like 40 seconds, 45 seconds by every other limited DPS. With like S0, R1 main DPSs, they clear Scar in like 45 seconds, 50 seconds. And so he has the double fusion buff, 2 fusion damage dealers, and it is... the team comp is just worse. 1.0 unit that is 4 stars, still impressive to clear with. Guys, this is honestly kind of for the investment that he showed across the account. I would actually expect better for the best in slot team. That's what I'm saying. And this is the thing, right? He's saying that this is like the premium, amazing, exceptional team. I would love to see what this looks like in the middle tower. I would love to see what this team looks like in the middle tower, because I do think it wouldn't look nearly as good.
Once a character comes out that 1. Plays well with quick swap, 2. Is a fusion character, and 3. Has a liberation that deals significant quick damage, then Chun-Li is going to be elevated to a god tier status of a character, because think of doing the same thing that I'm doing here, but doubling the damage of the main damage dealer. I want you to imagine for a second, if Carlotta truly power crept Chisia, and was a fusion character who specialized in resonance liberation damage instead of resonance skill damage. That would have made Carlotta and Chun-Li the best duo in the game, hands down. I'm already using Chun-Li and Chisia in this quick swap team and clearing almost as fast as Jeji and Carlotta. The difference is a mere 10 seconds, so imagine what I could do if Chun-Li were the sub DPS, fully buffing Carlotta instead. Now I'll be honest guys, Brant will not save Chun-Li. Brant is another Chun-Li actually. Another Chun-Li? Well, let me explain. I fully examined Brant kits in game, and I was able to play him during the story quest.
I don't even know, like, is this video like shitting on Changli or trying to say that she's good? I'm actually confused. I'm actually confused at this point, because we just showed a gameplay clip of us clearing slower than like every other limited DPS in one team. We just talked about how she has no synergy still in the game, and now we're talking about how the newest character that seems designed for her actually isn't good for her. I'm gonna be honest, yeah, she doesn't sound very perfect to me. She kind of sounds like the opposite of perfect to me. If this is the viewpoint we're taking, she sounds very far from perfect to me.
I was able to play him during the story quest, and he's just not going to be the one to elevate Chun-Li to an S tier character. The reason for this is because Brant has the same role as Chun-Li, a sub DPS fusion buffer. What Chun-Li needs is a fusion main DPS character that is very quick swappable like Carlotta or Chisia. That being said, Chun-Li and Brant will still be an amazing team to use together, and just let me tell you, it's an amazing experience to use them in unison. But take my word for it, it won't be setting any records. It's a great team, don't get me wrong, but it won't be a significant upgrade for Chun-Li's current teams already. If you are very proficient at quick swapping, it will compete with the top teams, but you have to know what you're doing to use them together. It's difficult to master, and there are so many features in both of their kits that you have to weave together, and it will be a challenge to do all of that. I'm sure that in 1 or 2 months, however, this team will perform much better than day one. There are so many rotation kits and gimmicks that you can do with Chun-Li, as well as Brant. So if you're serious about mastering her gameplay, be sure to subscribe and like the video. I'll be dropping an in-depth guide soon for Chun-Li and Brant closer to their release, and then I'll be making a quick swap video on how to play them perfectly together.
I think that Changli and Brant are going to have a fair amount of potential. I already have some ideas in my head about what their optimal rotation is. You probably quick swap between the two characters and then aim to get Brant's concerto up first. And the idea, right, is that once Changli reaches 3 out of 4 of her inflamement stacks, which, you know, you should normally be able to get to across a rotation using like one basic attack chain with her, you then intro skill off of Brant with Changli, you get your 4th one, then use your Forte Circuit, then Liberation, then Forte Circuit again, and then Changli should have her outro skill filled as well. And then you're gonna have to find like some third teammate, maybe one that can use her Liberation damage percent, or maybe the fusion one, who knows, and then fill up Concerto on that character, and then intro skill in onto Brant, and then start a new rotation, right? The unfortunate part is that Brant's buff to fusion and resonance skill disappears on swap, and so you do need to have like some dedicated field time for Changli to do that whole sort of combo. That's what I think. I don't think it's going to be that crazy complex, because the existence of those outro skills requires you to dedicate more field time and less time quick swapping.
I mean, even Pridwin has her placed at 0.50 in the tier ranking, so she's definitely going to be able to be used with so many different characters.
Poor guy didn't read the changelog. They're planning on bumping her down. Poor dude did not read the changelog. She is gonna get bumped down. Unfortunate.
Be used with so many different characters, and they actually say currently missing an ideal partner, and most of her strongest combos requires frequent use of resonance skill, which has a 12-second cooldown, and you must play it around it effectively. Yep, that pretty much sums up Chun-Li and how to actually use her, and why she's great on some teams, but bad on others. Now, don't get me wrong. At the end of the day, other teams are much easier to play, so it's not really for everyone, but at least give it a shot and don't just discount her completely before saying that she sucks. You want to know where Chun-Li truly shines? Gameplay modes like Whimpering Waste.
I guess this is the thing too. I don't think anyone has outright said that Changli sucks. I think that every single person that says that Changli sucks actually owns her. I'm pretty sure there aren't a lot of people that don't own her that says she sucks. The main thing is, right, is that these people have the experience of trying to utilize and leverage her kit effectively. And it's not that these people are bad, right? It's not that these people don't know how to play her. It's that these people simply recognize that they don't want to invest the time and the effort to learn how to play her effectively, because she requires, again, maybe 2 to 3 to maybe even 4 to 5 times the effort of every other character just to use at a baseline level. And that's the thing. You're asking someone to do 4 to 5 times the work for the same exact results, or honestly, lower results. And so that's why the whole Whimpering Waste thing, you can play her way easier with way less complexity and still get really good results with her in Whimpering Waste. So this is probably going to be the main thing in the video that I recognize and agree with here.
Gameplay modes like Whimpering Waste. She has the AoE, she has the quick swap, she is just a gem in these modes. Quick swaps are the best team rotation for these modes like Whimpering Waste, as having as many DPS on field as possible, it will make you win.
I think that's just wrong. The best DPS for this game mode is playing Gian or Camellia. What are we talking about here? Quick swap fucks up the grouping of these enemies so bad. Like, they're just bouncing around everywhere, getting hit by like 17 different things, and the grouping gets absolutely... Guys, let's just be honest here. Gian and Camellia absolutely steamroll this fucking mode. Like, let's not beat around the bush with that one. Playing quick swap results in the grouping fucking nightmare. Results in, like, you know, certain enemies having like differing HP bars and like nukes being used at the wrong time. It's just... I mean, they're good. They're definitely good, but I wouldn't say they're the best just outright like that.
You can kind of forego the sustain, and you can keep dealing damage, and that is how you win with these modes. Make sure that all of them are built for damage, and you'll do just great.
I'm not gonna lie, this is not looking like a good clear too. We're at 2,100 points with 12 seconds left. This is actually kind of a bad clear. Like, Changli with the Yang Yang and a support does way better. I used Changli with Yang Yang and a Verena and was able to get like almost 3k with Changli on Emerald of Genesis. She didn't even have her Sig. She had Emerald of Genesis and I was getting like 2.8, 2.9k just using her with Yang Yang and Verena. This is what I mean. It's like we're saying that it's like the best way to play here. But then we're getting like kind of bad scores.
These type of game modes are where Chun-Li can truly unleash every facet of her kit. With the quick damage that she's able to get out, as well as her liberation doing a ton of damage, and it will slow down time when she does the damage, you can combine her with many other characters to just easily clear these stages. Here's an example of a sustainless team not even using any main characters, and them able to get 2,500 points on one half, which is enough to fully clear this game mode. She's also one of the best overworld characters because her damage comes in 3 nukes: Enhanced Heavy, Liberation, Enhanced Heavy. Chun-Li is a character that you have to play for a month really to actually understand and master her.
I think he's actually overstating it. I don't think you need to play for a month, but yeah, I'm gonna be honest, that's not how I would sell the character. That is... I'm gonna be real. I wouldn't sell the character like that. You're making playing her sound like a fucking part-time job. If the goal was to get people more on board with Changli, I do believe that statement is doing the opposite. I'm being entirely real here. If I'm a gacha game player, I'm a casual player, and I heard that, I'd be like, yeah, maybe I won't pull her.
She is a quick swap heavy sub DPS who can match the damage of your main carry, despite whoever your main carry might be. I've played Chun-Li in so many teams with so many different characters, and she's always competing with the same clear time as if I was using that same team with their hyper carries instead. About 5 to 10 second difference each time, sometimes even winning.
I guess this is the thing. We're kind of just going in with the mindset of, I'm playing 3 times as sweaty, and then I'm clearing 10 seconds slower. And I guess, like, go for it. I just don't think that's something that most people want to do, where you put in more time to learn the team, you put in more time sweating, you give yourself like 30 times more opportunities to make mistakes, and then you proceed to clear slower. Hey, if you're having fun and you're enjoying it, go for it. It's just, I don't think that's like a value proposition that most people are thinking of, and they're like, yeah, that sounds awesome. I want to do that. I want to spend more I want to spend a month learning this character, a month perfecting her rotations, even more hours learning how to play her with another character, and then I'm going to proceed to clear slower after all of that work. I just don't think a lot of people want to do that.
That means that if you want to use Chun-Li with any content, whether you're using Judgy and you need to share her with both Carlotta and Jinshi, well, you can throw in Chun-Li into one side and you'll be set. She's also super fun to use, and if quick swap gameplay is up your alley, then you will not regret getting Chun-Li. Was Chun-Li released ahead of her time? Well, maybe. But was Chun-Li's kit design a mistake? No. Chun-Li grows with the player's skills, and if you're more casual and don't want to learn her, then she's not really for you. But if you're an intermediate or great gamer, then yeah, she will suit you just fine.
Guys, you can be good at gaming. You could be good at games and not want to press 400 things at once. I don't think that you not wanting to give yourself early onset arthritis, I don't think that means that you're inherently a bad gamer. I think that means that, I think it actually takes a good gamer to recognize that Changli isn't worth playing for most people. Because again, think about it this way. A sign of a good gamer is actually being efficient. What's the point of doing 500 button presses or mouse clicks or key presses to do the same exact thing as one or two? Let's think about it this way. Choosing the most efficient options in some circumstances, that's actually the sign that you're a better gamer. And recognizing that Changli requires all this extra work and then simply choosing, to spend your time literally doing anything else, I don't think that's the sign that you're necessarily a bad gamer. I think it's a sign that you simply have different priorities with how you spend your time in the game. And I think creating like this whole sort of like skill dynamic, oh, you're just bad, this makes you guys look like a bunch of people who have invested an absurd amount of time into a character and are trying to find value out of it or create value out of it. When in reality, nobody cares that you're doing 30 to 45 second clears in the TOA. That's like a cool thing, but like you can't just kind of say that you're better than other people because you're putting in the time to do that. Take that elitist mindset, Changli mains, and alter it a little bit. It's a casual gacha game.
Even if you're casual, you will still be able to use her just fine.
No, you won't.
Just be ready to actually sit down and learn and play her.
You're not a casual anymore then.
And by sit down and learn, I mean when you do play the game, actually use her and try to learn her. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching and for your continued support.
Alright, so I feel like the goal of this video was to kind of like sell Changli while also being like fair and accurate in terms of like what her problems and issues are. However, I think that calling her a perfect character after spending half of the video talking about the massive flaws in her design is a little weird. I think saying that you have to spend a month learning how to play her before you can use her in any capacity, that doesn't sound that perfect to me. And yeah, I mean, the title is definitely clickbait, right? But I don't think we said enough good things about the character to warrant saying that she's perfect or insane. I think that'll be my take on it. If I was somebody that was like on the fence about her, I'm not sure if this video would make me want to like pull her or play her more. It kind of just made a lot of stuff seem like a chore. But that's just what I think. Let me know what you guys thought about this one. Peace out.